Yeah, welcome back to my channel. This is your boy DJ from DJ Mobile Auto Services. So this customer reached out to me because he was experiencing some difficulties with his vehicle and asked if I could come through to check it out for him, right? So let's see if we could get the vehicle up and running again. You dig? I got the scan tool on it, and let's see what's good. Okay, folks, so we got a 2003 Mitsubishi Lancer, right? Customer complaint is that the vehicle has been running, rough of late, and also shutting down, intermittently. So, we brought it back home on a tow truck, and basically I was called out to diagnose this vehicle. So let's put the scan tool on it and see what we get. So right now you see that neutral light flash and ABS. That's letting me know that the scan tool is plugged in and in basically service mode, you can see, right? So let's read the 4 codes. Okay, let's back out of here. So we got a 4 code on the ABS and also on the MFI, which is the multi-point fuel injection, right? That's basically Mitsubishi one for MPI and all that good stuff, right? So let's look through it and see what's going on. Normally, the faults can be from anything from crank and cam. What else could I see on this vehicle that cause a crank no start? Most of the time is those 2 sensors that's failing. So let's see what exactly it is this time. All right, so we definitely got a 23, which is a cam position sensor. Okay, so yep, that's what it is. Let's make a report. All right, we're gonna save this. Okay, I'm saving this thing just to back it up to send to the customer. Let's come out. Okay, so let's go into data stream. What he also mentioned is when he makes an attempt to start the vehicle, when it's hot, it's not turning over, but when it's cold, it's starting, right? So let's go on crank signal, crank sensor, right? This is RPM. Let's see if they have anything for the cam. We're going to check injector. All right, we don't have anything for the cam at all, right? So there you have it, right? So we got the crank, the injector, and the so let's crank the vehicle and see exactly what's going on. So the vehicle starts right up. Okay, so you see I'm getting crank signal, injector. Also the blue trace is the crank signal, the green is the crank signal RPM. Right now I'm idling at, let's say, 1400 RPM, and my injector pulse is at 2.8 milliseconds, right? So the crank signal basically came off once the vehicle is running. So we do have a good crank signal, but just don't have a cam, right? Advanced ignition is at 12 degrees before top dead center. What else am I seeing? Is this use a map? So my boost sensor is at 36 kPa, which is what I'm expecting to see at idle. If I step on the X, it's going to go up to roughly 99 to 101, 100. So let's step on the X. So you see it shoot up to 100. So that's letting me know that the map sensor is working. Right. What else here? What am I going to see? My RPM is at 12. So as I said, man, he mentioned that it runs good in park, but only when the vehicle is cold. When it's hot, it gives you this rough idle, no crank start thing, right? So you're trying to start the vehicle and it's not starting, not running. So next I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go on to, let's take this off, it's kind of loud. So let's go on to the cam sensor. Yeah, so the cam sensor is located to the top, right? So it's fairly easy to get to the signal wire, which is the middle pin. All right, it's located right here. So I'm just going to put my scope on the signal wire and see what's good. Yeah, so I believe what happened to the vehicle is when the cam sensor heats up, for some reason it's like creating it's not sending the signal like it's supposed to, and causing the injectors not to fire, right? And once I put the scope on, right, I'm seeing where it looks like it's dropping out, right? But as I said, happening like when you sometimes it happens on cold start, and sometimes it happens when it gets really hot, right? So when the look, I just had the vehicle running, and just like that, you know, I started to get like that rough idle. They got, like you heard earlier, right? So the crank sensor is looking good, which is the red waveform. The yellow is the cam, all right? But I'm not seeing anything to say like the signal is feeling at this present time. But for some reason, it looks like it could be weak. You know, it's not sending enough signal back to the ECU or the MPI to, you know, make a decision. Especially when to fire the injectors, right? So yeah, this tends to happen after a while when these vehicles get older. Things start to break down and fail. But I mean, only thing I can do is, you know, tell the customer he needs a new cam sensor, right? I'm seeing dropouts, right? I'm running lean, right? So I'm not sure if the ECU is, you know, because he's not seeing the signal, he's, you know, basically removing that fuel from the system and causing it to run rough, right? Okay, so let's switch this off and put in a new cam sensor and we do our checks, right? I'm convinced that the sensor is failing. As you see the dropouts, right? The yellow is the cam sensor, the red is the crank, right? And let's see what's going on when we put in a sensor, right? So let's see what's good. This is the cam sensor that was in the vehicle, and this is the one I'm going to put in right now. So we're just going to pop this one in. Okay, and once you put this in, screw it down, right? You don't need to torque these bolts or anything like that. You just need to make sure that it's secure, right? Once you got that in, okay, we're going to put this on. I'm going to move this. This is the old one. Okay, so let's redo our test. Okay, so start over. Guys, start. Yeah, the idle was fluctuating crazy, right? Because the IAC valve was stuck, so I had to free it up with some carb spray, and now it's running real good, right? So still hooked on to the crankshaft sensor right via the back probe, which is the red trace, and I also have the yellow trace on the camshaft signal, and I also got the code still on the scan tool. I gotta clear that, right? But what I'm seeing right now, everything looking real good, right? It's idling smoothly and it's all up, you know, one bounce, man. So that's good, right? So I'm gonna call this a fix. We had a failed camshaft position sensor that was being affected by the change in temperature, you dig? So once the temperature increased, resistance increased, and reduce the current going to the sensor, basically, or coming out, right? So definitely gonna call that a fix. So yeah, you hear all that revved out, and it sounds real good, right? You got some fault codes to remove off the system, right? I still have the cam position sensor fault and also the ABS fault. I'm going to clear that because we replaced the part, right? The ABS fault, I still got to look into that, right? But I'm going to get to it. But other than that, just a reminder, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. But please let me know down in the comment box why you don't like my video. With the feedback, I'm gonna get better, man. Trust me, right? Until next time, y'all take it easy. Peace.